puppeteer reveals herself. I'm doing tabletop puppetry, and I hope you can see the little beings. As mother to these puppets, I want to let you know they are so excited and so happy to be here today, and they have absolutely loved the music. Oh, my heart is broken. I am filled with grief. So much loss in the world. So many beings gone forever. So many now leaving our precious Gaia. Granddaughter, I would travel to take you to some safe and blessed haven, but where can we go? Grandmother, you have often told me that story is medicine. Tell me a story. Ah, you are wise, my granddaughter, and you remind me that grief only emerges when there is deepest love, and love is the origin of all stories on Gaia, our mother. But what story would you hear? Tell me about the mother rivers. The mother rivers. Ah, well, for that we should invite the mother of all rivers herself. Grandmother, granddaughter, you wish to hear a story? I am the spirit of all rivers on Gaia. I know the stories, each unique story of every river. Yanaguana, Rio Grande, the Amazon, the Nile. I shall tell you a story of the great Mekong River in Vietnam. For it is a story of a mother. Long ago, when the earth was fresh and new, a pink and fragrant planet, a goddess from 36th heaven looked down and saw the rosy new earth, and a wonderful fragrance spiraled up. I'm going to go visit this new planet, and turn it into a sacred blackbird. She flew down to the new earth. When her feet touched, why, the soil, pink and fragrant, was soft as silk, soft as cotton balls. Oh, so wondrous here. But suddenly, she was seized with a sensation she had never felt before. It began in her stomach, rose up into her throat, danced around her mouth. She felt hungry. In 36th heaven, they never had to eat or drink. They were immortal goddesses in the realm of forms. But she had descended to the realm of matter and desire. Now she knelt down, scooped up a handful of the pink and fragrant earth, and wondered if it might taste as good as it smelled. She swallowed a small handful. But now she knew it was time to return to 36th heaven. But try as she might, she could not escape the gravity of Earth. And she was pulled back, because she had swallowed some of the earth. She could never return home. Very alone, Auka lay down on the ground. All night long she wept, until her tears became a wide, long, and flowing river, fragrant with the pink earth, a river of tears. When Alka awoke, she saw that her tears had become a river, and all along its banks where the tear water touched, there were new growing things, beautiful flowers and their sisters, the butterflies, and by swallowing earth and becoming heavy as a stone, she had now become the fertile heart of all life on land. Later, Alka became the mother of the first 100 Vietnamese people, but that is another story for another time.
Did you enjoy that story, my granddaughter?
Oh, yes, grandmother, but tell me another.
Oh, my goodness. What would you like to hear now?
Tell me the real story of the earth goddess Pandora.
Ah.
The earth now moistened with the tears of Alka and the sacred rains from the heavens. Pandora arose from the fertile womb of Gaia, carrying a great basket lined with pitch. Pandora, whose name means giver of all gifts. She dipped her hand into the basket and flung all manner of blessings, seeds for apples, plums, almonds, and cherries. She put her hand again into her basket and flung again new blessings, butterflies, bees, all manner of creatures who weave the beauty and health of the earth. Again and again she reached into the basket and sprinkled all good things upon the fertile earth. Blessing all life.
Tell me another story, Grandmother. One more, one more.
Well, what do you want to hear now?
Well, since Pandora brought butterflies and bees, do you think we could hear from the bees? Why, yes. In fact, I hear two flying this way. Oh, hello. We are mason bees, one of over 20,000 bee species on Gaia. 700 live in Tejas, where we live, and we are two of many kinds of mason bees. We're going to teach you a little song. We hope
grief, I must not forget the great wonder that surrounds us in every moment, wherever we stand, because all things are alive. All things are connected. We are held in the embrace of the mother rivers. We are held in the fertile braid of the rich land. We are held in the dances of the bees. We are held by the great mother. So, I want to read a short passage from a book I recently read called Thin Places, A Natural History of Healing and Home by the Irish writer Carrie Doherty. And what is a thin place? She writes from a Celtic sensibility, but it's something that exists wherever we are. And those are those liminal spaces, maybe near a rock or by a river, or when you're in some special place to you, some earth place, you can feel that the veil between the worlds disappears. And you can sense the spirits of all other living beings in this world, the next. Thin place where the veil allows us to be one with all. And she writes in chapter 8, how far back along the line that is not straight, the line that is not marked, the line that is invisible to our eyes, must we travel to find the source? Where does the past cease? Where does it stop? And when? Where do you end? Where do I begin? Where do you end and I begin? Where does the cycle start? Where does the moon take her first white and whispered breaths? When does the sea move away from the land? When does the story step off the page, hope bright, feather white, beneath a blackened, moth-light sky? Silence like the moon is a white circle moving through the seasons, shape shifting its way across the phases of its own darkness. There are places that speak of that unwritten language of letting go, of giving in, of being held like a hand in silent, universal prayer. And so I invite you for a moment to move into silence and bring an image in your heart and mind of one of your thin places, the place where you know you are held in the hand of the great mother. And while you hold that place, I'm going to very softly chant a refuge chant in Vietnamese that is the refuge chant to the Bodhisattva, who most of us know as Quan Yin, but in Vietnam she's known as Quan Thế Âm. And she too is a great mother who can hear all the cries of sorrow in the world, and like Ao Ke, sprinkles sacred drops of water to soothe and comfort. So hold your thin place, and I will sing Quan Thế Âm refuge chant. Nam mô Đại Bi Quan Thế Âm Bồ Tát. Nam mô Đại Bi Quan Thế Âm Bồ Tát. Nam mô Đại Bi Quan Thế Âm Bồ Tát. And may you know you are always held in the great mother's embrace.